Power and Play is presented by Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Cherry Tig.
Kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo, ipag-iwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, Chumbe, Sibay, Lakay, Manila. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa sa kapwa ko Pilipino.
Power and Play is presented by Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum. Cherry Tigo, there's more to our cars. Joyride, ang bago ninyong kasundo.
Halina't makinig, talakayin natin ang laro. Gusto mo, pag-usapan natin, ibida ang hilig ng bawat Pilipino na merong taglay na galing. Bago na, Power and Play na, bago na. Power and Play. Bago na, Power and Play na, bago na. Pilipinas tayo na, bago na. Power and Play na, bago na. Bago na, Power and Play na, bago na.
Philippines, the win is over! The gold is yours! Finally, Diaz!
Serena Golden gets the first goal for the Philippines in the FIFA Women's World Cup.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Ito na yung pinadala ko. Ang kagandahan po ng sports, parang gulong ng buhay. Minsan nasa taas, minsan nasa baba. May kalungkutan, may kasiyahan. At yan po ang ating pag-usapan ngayong umaga. Kaya po, bago na, Power and Play na. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat, mga kapatid. Ha? Nako, kamusta po kayong lahat? Sa ating po mga suki sa Radyo 5 92.3, True FM mula Apari hanggang Hulo. Nakukuha naman natin, no? Lahat yan. And of course, ang ating pong mga tagapanood po sa 1PH on Signal TV. Kasama na rin po ang mga nanonood sa atin sa ating replay over RPTV. How are you? And kamusta po ang inyo pong kalagayan ngayon pong araw na ito? And of course, finally, hello world! Magandang umaga, magandang hapon, magandang gabi po sa mga nakikinig naman sa Facebook Live ng Power and Play ng 1PH at ng Radyo 5. Ito na naman po ang ating mga huntahan tungkol sa mga pinakamalalaking issues at kaganapan sa mundo ng palakasan. Siyempre, hindi po makukumpleto ang ating Sabado ng umaga kung hindi ko po kasama ang aking partner, the man for all seasons, partner Gerald Season. Partner, magandang umaga.
Ay, magandang umaga. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. At tulad nga na sinabi ni partner Noli, marami tayong pag-uusapan dito. Masaya, malungkot, nakakatawa, at marami pang iba.
Alam mo, last week, para tayo roller coaster nagsimula, of course, nung akala natin, papasok na tayo sa Olympiada ng basketball. Tayo'y, kumbaga, nadapa pa ng masakit na masakit sapagkat natalo po ang ating Gilas Pilipinas. Although, napakaganda na
napakaganda. Pagkatapos nga nung torneyong yun, talagang napag-usapan ng mabuti sa international community, particularly in basketball, na talagang ang Pilipinas laging darling, so to speak, no, ng Olympic qualifying tournament.
At saka alam mo, nakakatuwa doon, partner. Kasi ang nanalo nung ating OQT, yung ating side, yung Brazil.
Yeah.
na tinalo nila yung Latvia, yung
Latvia,
host.
yeah.
Na number 6 po sa buong mundo yung Latvia. Alam mo, pag iniisip mo, tinalo natin din yung Latvia, di ba? So talaga kumbaga ang Brazil at saka Pilipinas ang naglalaban doon. Hindi naman yan 1+1. Pero pag dinudeduce mo, kumbaga ina-assume mo yung mga factors na ganun, talagang may pag-asa ang Pilipinas noon. Sayang na sayang at hindi nakapaglaro si Kai Soto, hindi na
yung kay
kompleto.
Kai Soto, sayang
Malaking
talaga.
bagay.
Malaking bagay. Talagang nag-double down si Japet at saka si Junmar, no?
Oo.
Para to sa big man. Sayang.
Alam mo, gusto kong punahin lamang yun kasi maraming kumbaga kinikriticize, binabash pa nga si Japet Aguilar.
Hindi naman dapat.
Hindi naman atatama po yun mga kapatid.
naman.
Alam niyo, sabi nga ni Tim Cone, yung tao ay nagsakripisyo. Pinilit ni Tim Cone
Yeah.
na maglaro para sa Gilas Pilipinas dahil nga po nawala si AJ Edu, yung ating talagang panapat doon, yung talagang future natin sa Gilas Pilipinas. Dahil nagkaroon ng injury, pinilit po niya si Japet Aguilar na maglaro. Magbabakasyon na nga yung tao at retirado na nga sa national team.
At saka looking forward, may bago siyang baby.
Ayun nga at kilala po natin si Japet. Alam niyo po si Japet, yan ang isang tao na pag nagdesisyon, yun na.
Yeah.
Alam mo, nung una kong nakilala si Japet, partner, that was back in 2009. Siya po ay nagdadalawang isip kung lalaro sa national team. Dahil nung panahon na yon, kinukuha rin siya ng PBA na maging number 1 pick. Alam naman natin kung gaano po kagaling at athletic. Hindi tayo nakakita pa ng ganong klaseng manlalaro, yung 6'9", na kung tumalon,
During nung
out of
umpisa.
the gym.
Yeah.
Ika nga, di ba? Siya po ay talagang matagal niya pinag-isipan. Pero nung nagdesisyon siya na sumali sa Smart Gilas nung panahon na yon, yung Smart Gilas Pilipinas, the original Gilas Pilipinas, wala nang nakapigil. Kahit na inoperan siya ng pagkarami-rami, Air 21 pinili siya, pero naglaro pa rin siya sa national team. Kaya alam natin na itong taong to ay merong isang pananalita at dapat po imbis na ating i-bash o pagalitan o i-criticize, pasalamatan natin ang kanya naging serbisyo.
Actually, partner, tama ka dyan di ba? Yung, alam ko, karamihan sa mga Pilipino ay very, very passionate when it comes to basketball, di ba? Kaya sa sobrang pagiging passionate, hindi na masyado nakakaisip yung behind the story sa mga nangyayari. Iba nga, pabiro nga, sabi nga, dapat daw nga draw yung laban natin sa sa Brazil.
Bakit?
Dahil panalo tayo sa first at saka second quarter Tapos panalo naman ang Brazil sa third and fourth.
Ganun talaga ang Pinoy, di ba? At saka alam mo, nakakatuwa sa Pinoy. Pag nananalo, abay, wala. Talagang nabasa ng puri. Pero natalo sandali, nagbitawan na, nagkalasan at lumabas na yung mga talangka.
Kaya nga
Ganyan talaga ang sports, mga kapatid. Hindi naman natin minamasama yan. Pero ang atin lang sana, tayo po'y nandun magkakasama kung nananalo at magkakasama kung
Kapag
natatalo. Well, marami po tayong pag-uusapan tungkol dyan ngayong araw na ito. Lalong-lalo na po ang ating mga bisita. Mamaya po si Coach Tim Cone mismo. Ang ating pong nakapanayam, fresh from Riga sa Latvia. Kababalik lamang po niya nung ating siyang nakausap at naikwento niya ang kanyang mga saloobin at the same time kung ano yung kanyang mga tila na hindi pa natatapos na misyon para sa Gilas Pilipinas. Mamaya po, abangan nyo yan sa ating second hour. At mamaya din po ating kakamustahin. Alam nyo, hindi lang naman po Gilas Pilipinas sana ang ating gustong makapasok sa Olympics. Marami na po tayong atleta na ngayon ay dapat nating suportahan. 22 na yan. This is the biggest delegation that we've had since Barcelona in 1992. Mahigit 3 dekada yan, mga kapatid. At mamaya po, kakamustahin natin ang isa nating atletang pupunta sa Paris, si Lauren Hoffman, yung ating pong hurdler na nag-qualify sa track and field sa Paris Olympics. Live po yan mamaya, kasama natin si Lauren Hoffman. So marami po tayong pag-usapan, mga kapatid. Pero syempre, simulan natin sa ating pong huntahan tungkol sa What's the Score?
Power and Play with Tom Noli Iyala.
Ang papasok po na PBA draft ang isa sa pinaka malaking draft na papasok ngayong araw, ngayong pong linggong ito, ngayong taon na to. May mga young blood na namang aabangan sa PBA kasunod ng 2024 draft. Bukas na po yan gaganapin, ha? At ang draft class na ito ay isa sa mga pinakamalaki at polarizing sa kasaysayan ng liga. Kasama sa mga inaabangang magiging mga star ng liga sina Justin Baltasar, Cedric Bearfield, RJ Abarientos, CJ Cancino, Evan Nelly, Peter Alfaro, Mark Nonoy, Kai Balungay, Kaylan Tiongson, Jerome Lastimosa, Dave Ildefonso, Jonel Policarpio at Ben Phillips. So, sa What's the Score, kung saan pag-uusapan po natin ang mga latest issues, pag-uusapan natin ang posibleng impact ng mga rookie batch na ito sa PBA. Alam mo, partner, this is very exciting sa PBA. And ang kagandahan nitong rookie batch na to, sa aking palagay, several things. Unang-una, maliban doon sa mga pangalan binanggit natin, ako ang pakiramdam ko, ang impact nito, parang nagbabalik ba yung mga players na naglaro abroad.
Yeah.
When you look at the projected top picks nitong draft na to, si Justin Baltasar, yan ay naglaro abroad.
Yeah.
Pinili niyang bumalik sa Pilipinas at ngayon ay magpapasok na sa draft. Si Cedric Bearfield ay naglaro abroad. Yan po ay naglaro para dun sa Taiwan. Dun sa Taiwan P-League, yung Fubon Braves ng East Asia Super League din. At ngayon ay pumasok sa draft. Nandun din si RJ Abarientos na matagal ding naglaro ito sa labas ng bansa. Kaylan Tiongson, nandyan din, at yung Dave Ildefonso. In other words, partner, parang ang dating sa akin, ang impact nito, parang okay na uli ang PBA.
Yeah.
Ano tingin mo?
Actually, I agree with you, partner. Both ways. Para sa akin lang, both ways yan. Na dati, laging issue sa atin, yung parang exodus ng mga players natin,
Yes.
'di ba? Naglaro abroad, but come to think of it, 'di ba? Kumbaga parang ibon man may layang lumipad, 'di ba? Huwag mo masyado kikitilin, but it honed their skills. Gumaling sila lalo, 'di ba? Dahil ang nakakalaban nila magagaling eh. Ngayon, option nila ngayon bumalik, mas magaling ako ngayon.
Oo.
'Di ba?
And you can see that sa national team.
Yeah, and you can
Nakita
see
mo
them-
naman sino
diba?
mga naglalaro na napili natin dyan.
Precisely.
Hindi natin nilalahat, pero ang isipin ko, si Dwight Ramos, malaking bagay para sa national team.
Uy, at saka yung nasabi ko sa'yo kanina, partner, may balita. After his stint doon sa Europe, sa Latvia, may mga interesadong mga European teams na kukunin siya.
Ba?
Oo.
European team.
European team. Nabasa ko dahil nga, parang may Russian blood yata si Dwight Ramos. According to that story, no?
Dwight Putin Ramos na to. Pero,
So in other words, talaga nare-recognize yung talent sa mga Filipino basketball
and
players.
this is the point. I think the point here is, nung araw ang PBA, takot na takot.
Correct.
Halos harangin yung mga
Yes.
lumalabas.
Yes.
Of course, alam natin yung kaso ni Kiefer, alam natin ang kaso ni 30, na siyang mga naging pioneer ng mga players na lumalabas para maglaro abroad.
Yeah.
And then, alam mo, yun nga matagal ko na sinasabi na ang basketball ngayon sa mundo.
It's global na talaga.
Global na,
Global
world
na.
open na eh.
Yeah.
Bakit ang isang liga natatakot kung hindi ka kumpiyansa sa iyong sariling produkto?
Yeah.
And I've always believed at the end of the day, babalik at babalik yung mga player na yan sapagkat hindi naman forever. Dahil ang mga patakaran din sa mga ligang yan, nagbabago. At kagaya nga na nangyari ngayon dyan sa Japan, ang alam ko, may mga bago silang patakaran. Kaya itong mga player na to, kailangan din maglipatan. Hindi pwedeng tumagal sa isang koponan.
Yeah.
And now, you're beginning to realize na kung ikaw ay isang player, mawawalan ka rin ng option, nauubusan ka ng option. Diba? So, mabutit nagbago ang patakaran ng PBA. In fact, niluwagan nila ang kanilang
Diba
draft
dati,
rules.
parang may panakot pa sila dati, di ba?
Oh, na sit out period. Hindi ka pag naglaro ka na hindi ka pa nagpapadraft at gusto mong bumalik, meron kang sit out period pag lumampas na yung panahon. O di kaya may kontrata ka, mas matagal pa yung sit out period at hawak ka ng mga kuponan na dati mong pinaglaruan. At of course, nung panahon na namin, and of course all the way hanggang ito, I believe ito ay hanggang later part no ng mga ng PBA yung rules namin sa eligibility napakabigat. Kailangan kang may DOJ clearance, meron kang BID clearance, dapat ang magulang mo ay talagang Pilipino, etc. etc. Ngayon niluwagan na ng PBA ang mga patakaran tungkol sa documentation ng isang player. Basta ikaw ay may passport, tila yan ang nagiging patakaran ngayon dahil marami dito sa mga pumapasok in fact, mga matatanda na rin Si Kailan Tiongson, hindi na kabataan ito. Nakakapasok na ngayon sapagkat mas maluwag na ang eligibility rules. So, mahalaga yan na pag-usapan natin na in terms of the impact nitong class nito, in the image, partner, yung imahe ng PBA maganda. Sapagkat ngayon, nakikita na ng mga player na nagbabalikan na muli ang mga ibang pioneer ng yung mga OFW na player bumabalik na ngayon. And maybe that will also push other marquee players o di kaya yung mga nagpaplanong umalis na maglaro abroad na alam natin ay babalik din. And that's good for the image of the PBA.
Yeah, tama ka doon, partner. Dahil nga, kung isipin mo, di ba, parang it's a parang sunod-sunod na event sa Philippine basketball, no? And eto, sumama na dito, yung crescendo, so to speak, no? 'Di ba? Magandang 'yung nangyari doon sa Meralco versus San Miguel, 'di ba? Tapos yung sa Gilas, 'di ba? Tapos ito
yung Asian Games.
Asian Games, yun pa pala na pati Southeast Asian Games. Kung saan puros mga foreigners yung mga kalaban from Cambodia, 'di ba? Tapos ito, I think the roster right now of this draft medyo talagang quality at mas nasa public awareness.
Correct.
Compared to last year. That's how I see it, from my point of view, no?
Alam mo kung bakit? Impactful.
Yeah.
Ang papasok ng mga rookies. And himayin natin na lang mga kapatid. Justin Baltazar, mga kapatid. Justin Baltazar. Alam naman natin yan, matagal lang hinihintayan dito sa PBA. And now, papasok na po si Justin Baltazar. He is one of the few big men, actually very guard-rich itong draft na to. And Justin Baltazar, pag lalaban-labanan niya. Pero alam mo, nakakapagtaka at nakakatuwa. May interview si Coach Aldin Ayo ng Converge. Sila may hawak na number 1 pick At alam naman natin na, quote-unquote, nag-tanking o yung nagpatalo para makuha nila ang number 1 pick. At talagang inintay ni Justin Baltazar itong pagkakataon na to. Ngayon, may mga lumalabas-labas na report na sabi daw ni Aldin Ayo, yung coach ng Converge, abay, nagulat ako na ang lalim pala ng draft at ang gagaling ng mga player. Sabi niya, pinag-iisipan pa namin kung sino ang pipiliin sa number 1 pick. Kung ikaw si Justin Baltazar, pambihira naman, boss. Ang tagal kong hinintay ikaw. Sabi mo sa akin, hintayin ko kayong makakuha ng number 1 pick. Ngayon, sasabihin mo na pinag-iisipan ninyo.
Actually, tama ka dyan. Isa sa mga nasilip ko, no? Katulad nitong si Cedric Bearfield. Although he's also 27 years old. Tinignan ko yung kanyang
pambihira.
Gatbabi pala to. Although undrafted siya, pero sinubukan niyang magpa-draft sa NBA.
Yes.
Oo, at saka ang kanyang stats, medyo very impressive, no? Average niya 15 points, no? Ang laro niya nung last season sa Taipei. So, tapos point guard, no? Naglaro rin sa sa
G-League. NBA G-League. Naglaro yan sa NBA G-League. Naglaro sa
Oklahoma
ESL.
Thunder.
Yes.
Kaya, kumbaga, tama yung sabi mo. Parang yung mga teams ngayon, nag-iisip. Di ba? Teka, mukhang maraming magagaling na dapat pagpilian natin.
Kaya
not
nga,
just
so
big men.
yun ang ngayon ang excitement.
Yeah.
Pero ako, I still believe na pipiliin po ng Converge si Justin Baltazar as number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Ako, yan rin paniniwala ko.
I agree with you on that. No? Dahil,
Although talagang kawalaan si Bearfield because ito ay magaling na player ito.
Magaling na player
kaya
to.
alam ko pinag-iisipan nila. Pero alam mo, iba pa rin yung matangkad.
iba yung matangkad. And that it showed doon sa last championship sa PBA, 'di ba? It was a battle of big men, si Bates against the Kraken, 'di ba? Talagang doon nagsentro para mag-shift yung tide ng game
Pero ang punto dito, partner, yan impactful. Immediately makakatulong yan si Baltazar.
Yeah, exactly.
Walang duda yan.
Walang duda.
Yung Bearfield makakatulong yan immediately.
Yeah.
Yung Abarrientos
Makakatulong
yan.
immediately
Kahit maikli lamang ang paglalaro niya sa kolehiyo, pero yung experience niya sa Korea, napakahalaga.
Exactly, that's my point nga. Di ba? Yung kaninang pinag-uusapan natin, natakot ang PBA, naglalabasan. Yung pala, nakakatulong rin dahil nakakakuha sila ng additional experience and skills. Di ba? Sa mga mabibigat na leagues. Pagbalik dito, got mabi talaga.
Talaga. And that's why, yun ang sinasabi nating impact nitong rookie class na to.
Yeah.
Aside from ang impact po dun sa imahe ng PBA na nagbabalikan na ang mga player na nag-abroad.
Yeah.
O di kaya nagiging first option na uli ang PBA.
Yeah.
Yung impact po, yung impact sa laro, yung the game. Because itong mga player na to immediately makaka-contribute. Isama mo pa dyan, yung mga Evanelli na napaka experience na as a collegiate player, nag-champion pa. Isama mo pa yan, isa pa partner, yung Kaylan Tiongson. Hindi man ito bata, itong si Kaylan Tiongson, marami na rin pong karanasan outside of the Philippines. And alam mo yung kanyang pagpasok dito is again, a good indication na talagang umuubra na yung pagluwag ng rules ng PBA. Kasi ito dati hindi makapasok do dahil sa mga problema sa documentation niya. And ngayon, nakapasok na. Isa pa, partner, na makakatulong immediately. Sa tingin ko, itong si Dave Ildefonso. Anak ni Lakay Dani. Aba, alam naman natin ang galing niyan sa opensa.
Yeah.
Naglaro din yan sa labas ng bansa, I think in Japan.
Yeah.
Kaya itong pagpasok ni Dave, magandang at he is projected to go number 7 para sa rain or shine Elasto Painters. Alam naman natin si Coach Yeng. Pag ang hinawakan na player may talent, talagang nai-expose
At saka
siya.
physical maglaro to.
Physical, ha?
Physical.
Oh.
Shoot na shoot kay
Atinista
Coach
pa
Yeng.
to.
Oo.
Ang humawak si Coach Yeng, lasalista, talagang kawawa ito. Biro lang.
Alam mo, ang isa pa dito, no? I hope talagang 100% healthy siya. Pero very impactful to. Ito si Jerome Lastimosa.
Yes.
Ay, grabe.
Oh.
Naglaro siya ng
Yes.
sandali
Tama.
sa Gilas, pero nakita ko iniikutan niya yung mga kalaban .
And again, one of the top point guards ng
Yeah.
UAAP. So again, in terms of the impact ng mga mga listahan po ngayong taon na to at napakarami po yan mga kaibigan. 70 players ang lalaro ang pumasok sa draft ng 49th PBA season. At of course, mas maliit ito kaysa last year na 120.
Yeah.
Pero sabi ng marami, mas kalidad. Lalo-lalo ng mga coaches, mas impactful. They probably will go 2 round deep na talagang makakatulong yung mga mapipiling player. Ang huli kong punto dito, partner, aside from, sabi natin nga, maganda sa imahe ng PBA, makakatulong sa mga koponan immediately, ang huli ko is yung popularity.
Yeah.
Marami sa mga papasok na player dito makakatulong sa sinasabi na nating dwindling gate attendance.
Yeah.
Alam mo, natatandaan mo ng panahon nila Alvin Patrimonio, nung pumasok in 1988, sila Alvin, yung Pure Foods, yung isang buong sila Jojo Lastimosa, Jericho Diniera, Alvin Patrimonio, Al Solis, yung grupong yun, talaga namang ang kasikatan ng PBA ay umangat. Iyan ang kailangan po ng PBA, fresh blood na popular. And when you look at that, when you talk about yung mga popularity, andyan po of course yung Ebanelli, yung CJ Cancino,
May following na
ng
talaga
UP.
Sa college pala may following
May
na
following
sila.
na. Yung kay Balungay
Yeah.
ng Ateneo, yan ay talagang makakatulong sa pag-angat ng gate attendance ng PBA. And sana magamit ng PBA ng gusto.
Well, the ball is now with the PBA
Oo.
on how to market this situation, these
Oo.
players. No, kailangan paypayan nila para talagang lumakas lalo ang following.
Talaga.
Di ba?
And again, ang sa what's the score mga kapatid, ang gusto lang namin puntahin dito is, well, yung draft is always a regular thing sa isang PBA season. Pero alam niyo po itong draft na to, pakiramdam ko, momentum shifter ito para sa PBA. Kailangan ng PBA isamantalahin itong pagkakataon na to. Nabanggit mo nga, partner, na yung napakaraming development sa basketball. And we're talking about a renaissance of hindi lamang Philippine basketball but PBA basketball.
Yeah.
We hope na kahit papano, talagang ang pati ang mga player, ang mga coaches, ang mga teams, bigyan ng pagkakataon itong bagong class na to. Sapagkat this could be their chance to swing the momentum towards a bigger gate para sa PBA. At alam naman natin yan, lagi ko sinasabi yan, mas maraming nanonood. Huwag mo nang sabihin yung mga nanonood sa social media, sa Facebook, sa inyong mga streaming, and of course sa TV. Pero iba yung nanonood sa loob ng arena. Yun ay nakakatulong sa spirit ng manlalaro. And the bigger the crowd is, mas ginaganahan ng mga player.
Yeah. But ang malaking problema lang, although ganyan talaga ang buhay, di ba? Punong-puno tayo ngayon ng itong draft na to. Punong-puno tayo ng mga point guards at saka
Security agency nga eh.
kaya yung mga dating mga yun ang position, medyo pupunta na sa ibang liga yan.
Well, alam mo,
kaya talaga eh, di ba?
ganun talaga ang buhay sa PBA.
Yeah.
Ayan ang sinasabi natin. Alam niyo, minsan nakikita niyo po mga kapatid, yung mga tipong Junmar Pajardo, yung mga CJ Perez na malalaki ang kinikita. Marami po mga player sa PBA, pagkatapos ng 3 taon, wala na eh. 2, 3, hanggang 4. Bumupunta na po yun sa iba't ibang liga. Yan po sana ang alagaan din ng PBA. Kahit pa paano, mabigyan ito ng mga pagkakataon. Alam mo, matagal ko na rin ipinupush yung pagbabalik ng PBA Players Association. Kailangan na kailangan yan. And I'm not talking about politicizing the PBA or pahirapan. Alam niyo po, iba pa rin yung nagkakasama at nagtutulungan ng mga players. Kahit papano, naitatag nila yung PBA Educational Fund. Kahit papano, nakakatulong yan sa mga anak na mga dating PBA player. At nung araw, yung PBA Players Association, maraming mga proyekto yan para sa mga hindi na naglalaro mga players. Kaya sana ma-push yan. Nawala yan. Nawala dahil nagkaroon ng clash ang Phil-Americans at saka ang mga locals. Ano mo nung panahon nila Marlo Aquino? Yung nag-aaway nung panahon na yon.
But I think ngayon hindi na.
Mukhang wala na eh. Alam mo, ganyan na sila ngayon eh. Kaya sana nga kahit papano matulungan. Alam mo po, again mga kapatid, the impact of this class cannot be, of course, malalaman natin dito as the year goes along, pero maganda ang aking pakiramdam dito sa PBA 2024 draft class. Alright mga kapatid, bago po tayo mag-break, isa muna pong paalala mula sa ating mga kaibigan sa Smart. Puso Pilipinas is a movement to celebrate the Filipino athlete powered by Smart. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Get a chance to win exclusive Puso Pilipinas merch by sharing their Facebook page in your social media accounts with hashtag Puso Pilipinas. The Giga Life app is the latest mobile app from Smart that lets you discover and enjoy your passions with the different Giga promos. It can be downloaded and used by Smart Postpaid, Smart Prepaid, Bro Prepaid, and TNT subscribers via the Apple or Google Play Store. What can the Giga Life app do for me? Check your balance, monitor your current subscription, top up using debit credit card, subscribe to the latest Giga promos, monitor your data consumption, auto-detect your mobile number when you are connected to Smart Network one-tap subscription to the most popular offer, Giga Video 99, and of course, Power and Play is powered by Smart. Live more today. Bago po tayo mag-break gusto ko lang magpasalamat, partner sa Rudy Project Maraming salamat. They are of course officially on board and I am very happy na ako po hinirang nila bilang isang brand ambassador ng Rudy Project. I'd like to thank GM Alessandro Ciuti. Thank you so much sa inyo pong pagtitiwala. Of course, sa lahat po ng mga tiga Rudy Project, sa inyo pong pagtulong at pagsuporta sa Power and Play. Thank you! When we come back, ang ating pong pag-uusapan, Cash or Bash Time. Kasama po ang ating mga kaibigan and of course, much more dito po sa Power and Play. Hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo at ng Joyride. Ang oras po natin, 8:34 ng umaga. This time check is brought to you by M2T Drinks with malunggay, okra, and luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2T Drinks.
Ito ang programang inaabangan, mga paborito mong paligsahan. Impormasyon dito ay malalaman, halina't ating tunghayan.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai's stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Sherry.
Ito ang programang inaabangan, mga paborito mong paligsahan. Impormasyon dito ay
Radyo 5 True FM. Pinarangalan sa 18th UP Broadsock Kantinan Awards 2024 bilang Most Development-Oriented FM Radio Station.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Wanna know what makes Enhypen's performances so explosive?
Dunkin' Choco Bang!
Explosive bawat bite kasi chocolate-coated na, Bavarian-filled pa. Explosive ang flavors kasi may 3 banging toppings na. Big Bang BTN, and Big Bang Nutty. Kaya ang Enhypen, explosive ang bawat galaw.
Nothing like Dunkin' Choco Bang!
Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
Mukhang kailangan ko na naman palitan ng bubong ko, pare. Mag-iisang taon pa lang yan. May tulo na kagad.
Ay, bossing! Baka naman kasi hindi matibay yung ginamit nyo. Dapat ang gamitin mo ay Cherry Loom, ang yerong aluminum. Basta yero, Cherry Loom. Tibay protektado sa pangmatagalang yero.
Fujidenzo believes that appliances are long-term investments, so it is very important to choose wisely. And what could be a wiser choice than using reliable, durable, and energy-saving appliances from Fujidenzo? Just like families and companies trusting Fujidenzo, you will see the difference when you upgrade your usual appliances to Fujidenzo HD inverter appliances. Fujidenzo, quality above all. Upgrade your home, upgrade your business with Fujidenzo. Quality above all.
Wanna know what makes Enhypen's performances so explosive?
Dunkin' Choco Bang!
Explosive bawat bite kasi chocolate-coated na, Bavarian-filled pa. Explosive ang flavors kasi may 3 banging toppings na. Big Bang BTN, and Big Bang Nutty. Kaya ang Enhypen, explosive ang bawat galaw.
Nothing like Dunkin' Choco Bang!
Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
Tayin natin ang laro. Gusto mo, pag-usapan natin.
Muli po, bumabati tayo lahat sa mga ating po mga suking nanonood all over the country, lalong-lalo na po sa aming lugar po sa San Pablo City, partner. Marami sa ating mga nakikinig dyan. Of course, sa Los Baños, Laguna, sa Tanawan City, sa Batangas, and of course, sa Lipa City. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Ikaw, may mga...
Siyempre, alam mo, maraming nanonood sa ng Power and Play sa Lingayen, Pangasinan.
Siyempre.
Kaya masanto siya kabusan at si kayo namin.
Ayan.
Mas lalo yung mga pinsan ko, si Atoy, Julius at si Chona de la Cruz. Magkasama, pumunta sila the other day dito at nag-dinner kami. Pero ngayon bumalik na sila sa Lingayen.
Oh, by the way, gusto ko lang pong i-congratulate yung team namin sa San Pablo College's Ravens, na ngayon po ay nakapasok sa finals ng NCAA South. After 18 years, nakapasok po yung aming kupunan, San Pablo Colleges, at kami po ay naglalaro na sa finals kalaban ng PCU Dasmariñas Dolphins. Kahapon Game 2, Game 1 nanalo yung aking team, yung Ravens. Kahapon nanalo po ang Dolphins, kaya may Game 3 kami na all winner take all game nagaganapin yata sa Tuesday. Kaya good luck sa SPC College.
Good luck sa team ninyo.
Ravens sa pamumuno ni Coach Francis Natividad at saka ni Coach Lloyd Manalo. Again, good luck sa Ravens. Oh, by the way, partner, nakikinig sa atin at nanonood si partner Elmer Ngo ng Cherry Loom.
At saka si Jomel Gonzaga. Na sinasabi niya raw Olympian din daw siya dati.
Anong klaseng Olympics ito?
Siguro sa beer drinking.
Happy birthday din, partner Elmer. Kamusta? Mamimiss kita sa ating pagkikita sa Sabado. Hindi makakarating next week si partner Elmer. Di bale, marami pa naman pagkakataon and alam naman natin kung gaano ka-busy yan si paring Elmer.
Ayaw nga pala. Isa pang masukid na nanonood, si Attorney Marvin Herrera. Nanonood yan sa ating programa. Marvs, kamusta ka dyan?
Birthday din pare ni Ed Andaya. Ngayong araw pong ito. Yung kaibigang editor.
Ed
Andaya. Happy birthday. And before I forget, of course, birthday din po ng aking anak today, si Fabio. Happy birthday, buddy. Marami kaming gagawin ngayong araw na to after the show. And I'm looking forward to it. Happy birthday, Fabio.
Happy birthday, Fabio.
Alright. Bago natin ipasok yung ating mga bisita sa Cash or Bash, gusto ko lang po, of course, paalala na meron pa rin tayong Joyride Top-Up promo dito po sa Power and Play. Tuloy-tuloy po ang pamimigay ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits ng Joyride Super App para sa inyo pong mga suki ng Joyride. Napakadali lamang po mag-download ng latest version ng Joyride Super App. Kuhanan ng screenshot ng app's home screen. Ipadala ang screenshot sa Power and Play FB page via PM. Isama nyo po ang inyong buong pangalan at registered mobile number at kami po ay mamimigay ng 1,000 pesos para sa 5 lucky winners para po sa MC Taxi, sa Joyride Taxi, Joyride Car at sa Joyride Super Taxi. Pati na rin sa Joyride Delivery. Magagamit niyo po yung 1,000 pesos JRPay wallet credits. At hindi pa po dyan nagtatapos. Namimigay pa rin po ang Joyride ng limited edition Aqua Flask. Madali lamang po. Pag kayo nakabook na ng MC Taxi o ng Joyride Car o ng Taxi Cab, kuhanan lamang ng isang creative picture kasama po yung inyong driver or rider partner. At ipadala nyo po ito sa aming Facebook page via PM. Isama nyo po yung hashtag of the week at kami po ipipili ng mananalo ng limited edition Joyride Aqua Flask. At ito po ang ating hashtag of the week. Hashtag Joyride Discovery. Ipadala nyo po yan at kami mag-a-announce mamaya ng mga winners. Alright, mga kapatid, we are ready to go with our fun portion of the show. Ito po yung Cash or Bash.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
At ang Cash or Bash ay hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Tigo. There's more to our cars. Siya nga pala, kamusta kay partner Romel Sitin ng Cherry Tigo. Naku marami kami napag-usapan na kagabi ni paring Romel. And siguro one of these days we'll also tackle the issue ng PVL at saka yung national team. May mga problema din yan nangyayari pala dyan sa volleyball. Alright, ito po yung Cash or Bash kung saan dito po sa segment ito ay magpapakita kami ng mga sports items, pwedeng video, sound bites o di kaya quotes nakakatulan ng ating mga bisita na cash kung sang-ayon sila or bash kung walang seal of approval nila. At ngayong araw pong ito, mga balik cashers or bashers ang ating pong mga kasama, partner. Si Naveen Ganglani ng All-Star Magazine at senior editor and Navs Effect host, isang podcast na napakasikat. At kasama rin po natin, hi Naveen, good to see you today.
Hi Naveen.
Good to see you. At kasama rin po natin si Rey Joble ng PinoyStep.com, managing editor of course, at kaibigan natin sa sports media. Magandang umaga, Rey.
Hi, Rey.
Good morning. Good morning to you, Com Noli, and good morning to you, Jera.
Hi.
Naveen, I'm happy to have you and I will be on your podcast very, very soon. Don't worry, alam mo, very interesting pinag-usapan namin ni Naveen all the time. And I wanna start with that, Naveen, because I know that you've been following a lot of our players entering the PBA draft. I wanna get your take. Justin Baltazar o Cedric Bearfield para sa Converge?
I think pretty much set in stone for the last 10 years that Justin Baltazar was going to go to Converge. Diba? No. Credit to Converge though. Credit to Coach Aldinayo. Credit to Converge. They're saying that they're selecting between Bearfield and Baltazar. But I just think that at this point, well, if I had to bet, wala naman tayo odds for top PBA draft pick, although that would be interesting. But if I had to bet, I would say that Baltazar goes 1 to Converge and Bearfield goes 2 to Blackwater.
Oo nga. And that will still be a big help para sa Blackwater, Jeffrey Carriazo. That kind of talent na Bearfield, partner. Kanya nga binabanggit mo kung gaano kagaling itong si Cedric Bearfield. At yan ay aabangan ng mga PBA fans. Ray, ang ating kupunan ay papunta sa 43rd William Jones Cup sa pamumuno ng Strong Group Athletics. And of course, we've got a very strong team. Chris McCullough, dating naging import na San Miguel. Ange Kwame, ang ating naturalized player. Another foreign player, si Taijuan Adji and Kiefer Ravena, Jordan Heading, si ang dami si David Defonso, RJ Abarientos, Renz Abando. What do you think? Malaki ba ang chance natin dito na mabalik ang Jones Cup sa Pilipinas?
Yeah, definitely. Alam mo na, pagdating sa Jones Cup, it's not just about the team, it's more about collecting talents eh. Ganyan yung nangyayari sa Jones Cup di ba? Ever since nakikita natin through the years yung mga Philippine representatives natin, they're not just forming a team para rito sa week-long tournament na to. They're just collecting talents and getting the best talents available.
Oo. And of course, ito yung alam naman natin sa Jones Cup, it's really more of, alam mo nung araw yung Jones Cup, very prestigious yan talaga.
Yeah.
Tsaka national team talaga.
National teams na naglalaro dyan.
National teams na
ang nangyari kasi medyo yung schedule nila, alanganin. Kagaya niya, kasabayan pa ng Olympics. Kaya napakahirap. But again, we wish our team all the best. Kahit pa paano, still Philippines ang ganyan Coach Charles Chu, of course, ang grupo nila, Mr. Frank Lau and Jacob Lau. And so, we wish them all the best dyan sa William Jones Cup. Well, gentlemen, alam nyo na yung drill dito, napakadali. We will show you some items, sports items. Kung kayo ay sang-ayon, cash. Kung walang seal of approval, bash. And simple lamang, we'll give you time to explain your position. And let's begin with our first item ngayong umagang ito. This is about the basketball team of the United States na papunta na nasa Abu Dhabi na ata to play some tune-up games. Pero just before they left, nagkaroon ng balita na umatras na si Kawhi Leonard sa Team USA duties. At ang pumalit sa kanya, si Boston Celtics guard Derek White. Now, maraming nagulat sa pagpili kay Derek White. So, cash or bash, questionable ang hindi pagpili kay Finals MVP Jaylen Brown bilang kapalit ni Kawhi Leonard sa Team USA Olympic squad. I'll begin with you, Naveen. Cash or bash? Go!
Well, for me, I think it's a good move na ilagay si Derek White instead of Jaylen Brown. Because if you look at the composition of the USA basketball roster, tingnan natin, there are a lot of forwards or big guards. So, meron kang LeBron James, you have Anthony Edwards, who's a 2-guard, pero can also play small forward. You have Kevin Durant, who's more of a 3 or a 4, same with Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, all big men. And then you have guys like Tyrese and Steph Curry, while they're super quality offensive players, you can run an offense around them. They're playmakers, no? They're not exactly people who I'd call shutdown defenders. They can be good defenders when their mind is into it, but they're not shutdown defenders. Now, bringing someone like Derek White, you're bringing the ultimate glue guy when it comes to that guard position. Someone who's low maintenance, someone who doesn't need the ball a lot, someone who can be ready for kick out 3-point shooting opportunities, someone who will guard the best guard of the other team. Like if you had to guard a Jamal Murray, for example, from Team Canada, or a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, you can put Derek White on him. Derek White is the ultimate plug-and-play guy in the NBA right now when it comes to that guard position, along with Drew Holiday. And you put him in USA Basketball, low maintenance, he will fill a role and he will help your team win. That's not to say Jaylen Brown wouldn't help your team win, but Jaylen Brown is the same height, plays similarly in the same spot as some of the guys you already have in the team. So it might have been a little redundant, and adding Derek White just adds more to your area of need.
So, you are basically bashing those that kini-question yung pagpili kay Derek White.
I'd like to say I am cashing in on the people who like the addition of
Mas
Derek
positive.
White.
Half full, glass half full. All right, good point, Naveen. All right, Ray, same as you. Questionable ang hindi pagpili kay Jaylen Brown na Finals MVP kapalit ni Kawhi. Cash or bash? Go!
Bash, of course. Selecting players on any national team level or even on a regular team doesn't mean you're picking the best players. You have to remember the true meaning of a team. It means selecting players based on what the coaches envision for a team. Let's go back as early as 1992. If you are a casual basketball fan, you might be wondering, what is Christian Laettner doing in the Dream Team? Without assessing carefully that this was part of the agreement with the basketball officials who formed the squad to give way to a national champion who was still savoring his heroic role in the NCAA finals at that time. No? And in forming a team, there's what we call build-up. So you want those players to work together and finding players who could be a better fit for the squad. We've seen that many times. We heard stories of Isaiah Thomas being left out of the Dream Team, or Jericho Diniera's spot in the Centennial team taken over by EJ File before. But who is replacing who? Are we sure that this player was the one who took over the spot of another player? But you have to remember, are there players capable of what Jaylen Brown could do? If the answer is yes, then there's no point to argue. So it's bash for me.
Very excellent point. Very excellent point.
Yeah.
Hindi natin alam talaga kung ano yung motivation na yun. I like what Naveen also said na marami ng posisyon si Jaylen Brown. Partner, what do you think?
Well, I both agree with Naveen and Rey, no? Talagang si Jaylen Brown kasi same role di ba? Na but if you will look at the although maliit lang yung difference ng stats, mas malakas magbigay ng assist si Derek White kaysa kay Jaylen Brown, di ba? And it's not all about colors, white, brown, tan, or black. It's all about the preference of the coach. How the player would fit in the team. And I think, tama yung sabi ni Naveen dyan, yung talagang yung mag-guard sa kalaban. Offensive-wise, wala nang problema ang USA team.
Naku po, wala talagang problema.
Wala.
And I totally agree. Bash din ako dyan. I mean, at the end of the day, I think hindi na kailangan si Jaylen Brown. He could have been a great fit for them. Kawhi was there to guard. Kawhi was there not to score. He was there as a stopper. And I think si Derek White fits the bill.
Tulad nga nasabi ko doon sa color parang nangyari yan during the late 80s yung sa San Miguel di ba? Nagtataka sila kung bakit hindi makapasok yung isang player. Dahil yung si White, dahil meron ng si Black, nando si Brown, nando pa si Leon Chotan. Kompleto na yung mga colors.
Dati meron pang ang green
green pa.
Alright, let's go to our second item of the morning, gentlemen. End of an era sa basketball dahil malamang ay una at huling beses nang makikita sa Olympic team sina Kevin Durant, Steph Curry at LeBron James. Cash or bash? may tuturing na failure para sa USA Avengers kung hindi nila ma-sweep ang Olympics with these three legends on the team? Ray, go!
For me, it's cash. Be it the Avengers, the Dream Team, Redeem Team, or any other US team for that matter, a finish lower than the gold is always a failure. Blame it on themselves. They're the ones who started that superiority claim. As we can see, they always call themselves world champions even when they just won an NBA championship or a title in the Major League Baseball. The Olympic stage is not a movie, but a reality, and the so-called Avengers will have to prove themselves and live up to the standard set by USA Basketball the moment the open basketball policy started. No excuses. A gold medal finish would be enough, whether they win by a mile or close margin. The important thing is winning, and the Olympics is the perfect stage for them. They can prove their greatness. So they don't care about the World Championship or the World Cup. And that's the Olympic is a perfect stage for them. I'm sure LeBron, Steph, and KD don't want to be remembered for their Olympic failure, despite their greatness in the NBA.
Great points again, Ray. And alam naman natin na itong Team USA has always been known to be the best team, and of course, gold medal or nothing para sa kanila. Same matter and same issue. Naveen, sweep or nothing para sa Team USA in the Olympics, given that they have the best collection of stars, including three legendary names. Cash or bash, Naveen, go!
I would have to say bash. I think that USA winning gold should be the standard. I think USA winning gold should be the expectation of the team given the talent on their roster. But in terms of sweeping the competition, I think we're at the point now where we shouldn't expect USA to sweep the competition every tournament. And the last few years have proven that. Last year alone, here in Manila, we saw how the world has caught up to the USA in terms of basketball competition. USA lost to Lithuania, then they were eventually eliminated by Germany, and they even lost to Canada in the bronze medal match. Now, yes, the USA did not have guys like LeBron, KD, AD, Bam Adebayo in that roster, but it just goes to show how some of the powerhouse countries in the rest of the world have caught up with the playing style. In fact, a lot of the best players in the NBA right now are from international teams. Giannis Antetokounmpo with Greece, Nikola Jokic with Serbia, and even some of the role players like a Dennis Schroeder, Franz Wagner, who are now with Germany. So, do I expect USA to still win the tournament? Yes. Do I expect them to sweep the tournament? No. Take note, if they face Serbia with a Jokic and Serbia beats USA, would we really be surprised given the talent and the ability of Jokic and that Serbian team? Not really. So, I think it would be okay if they win even if they don't sweep the tournament.
All right. Sweep or nothing para kay Naveen is bash, gold is cash. Partner.
Yeah. Well, I agree with Naveen, no? Pero tama rin si Ray. It's a tough order for the USA, and it's a tough expectation as well. But like what Naveen was saying, no, we should already open our minds and embrace that it has been a global kumbaga the standard of basketball. Inabutan na. Kaya dapat kung matatalo, in case they will not sweep the Olympics, we have to accept. Mabibigat na talaga yung mga ibang players. And also, this USA team is also an aging team. Look, how old is Kevin Durant? 35 years old. Steph Curry is 36. LeBron is 39. Kumbaga, dapat i-embrace na matatanda na itong team na itong Avengers na to. And there's a big chance that they will not sweep the game.
Aside from that, partner, injuries. Alam natin that KD is nursing an injury right now. In fact, he's not been practicing and he has not been playing. I understand he's not going to play sa Abu Dhabi in one of their games. And I think really that's another concern. Injuries will be a concern. Tandaan niyo po mga kapatid, ang Olympic format, hindi po kagaya ng NBA yan, na pwede magpahinga. Tuloy-tuloy yan. And that's also going to be a concern for Team USA. But ako, I still put them at a very high standard because they put themselves there. Yun ang tama kay Ray. Sila ang naglagay sa kanila dyan that they are the world champions, that they are the best team out there. And nung World Cup, sinasabi nila they did not send their best team. Now, they are claiming they're sending their best team. Pinangangalandakan nila yan, pinagmamalaki nila yan.
Pangatawanan nila.
Pangatawan nila yan. And I really believe that it will be a failure if they do not win. If they do not sweep, I still put them at a very high standard. And I think they will also be disappointed kung matatalo sila dito. So, I would have to say, cash ako dito, sweep. I want to see a sweep from the US. But of course, the gold is still the prize in the Olympics. All right, let's go to our third and final issue. Ito'y tungkol sa ating pong Gilas, Pilipinas na napakagandang ipinakita sa Riga, Latvia Olympic Qualifying Tournament. Kinapos man sa Olympic dream ang Gilas, naging malinaw naman na kayang pumalag ng bansa sa international tournaments. Yun nga lang, problema pa rin ang injury sa national team pool. Cash or bash, magandang plano na lakihan ang national team pool or core. I'll begin with you, Naveen. Go!
For me personally, I think it's a good idea. I feel that if you have a wider pool that you can train constantly, they can get used to the system that Coach Tim and the coaching staff want to implement. So that when you get to the tournaments, you get to the games, parang wala nang catch up. I mean, there's some catching up, but parang natural na din yung playing style and playing dynamic. But there are two things to consider here. One is, can you get everyone to train together religiously? That's really the dream, right? And that might be hard if you have a player who's in college, if you have players playing abroad, and if you have players who might have injuries. But if that's possible, absolutely, we should go for it because consistency is the key to success, and consistent training, consistent development, getting used to a coach's system will be the key parts of establishing a contending team. However, we should also put a caveat na Coach Tim has always been the type of coach where, yes, even if he has a deep roster, he has a rotation he trusts. He has guys that he likes to play for specific amount of minutes. Like if you look at Brownlee barely left the court in the games in the OQT. Now, some might argue if you had a deeper pool, you had someone to replace Sky Soto when Sky Soto got injured. And that I kind of agree on. But ultimately, no matter how deep the pool, I feel that Coach Tim will have 7 to 8 guys he really trusts per game to play major minutes. So, I'm kind of somewhere in between of cash or bash, but I will have to kind of lean towards cash in this regard.
Alright. Nako, gustong palakihin ni Naveen ang core ng national team. Ray, same matter. Do you think dapat dagdagan ang Gilas pool? Cash or bash? Go!
Well, for me, it's bash. And this is something I've observed with coaches who handle the national team through the years. They would come up with an initial pool as much as 18 players, then would trim down the pool to 15 to the final 12. And they can easily name kahit 50 kung gusto nila, no? But at the end of the day, players themselves would feel if they have a good shot at making the team, and slowly but surely themselves will become non-committal. Two important factors should be considered. First is commitment, and the other one is health condition. Things that management and coaching staff don't have any control of. There are tons of players who are obsessed and wanted to play for the national team. But at the end of the day, it's the coach's preference which also serve as deciding factor. So my answer here is bash.
Alright. Well, alam niyo po, abangan niyo mamaya ang interview natin with Coach Tim Con because he actually mentioned something about this. Partner, do you think, kasi alam natin yan ang formula nung araw eh.
Yeah.
Malaking pool, yun ang ginamit ni Coach Chot Reyes, yung 23 for 23. Naging 1 out of 23 yung scoring natin. Ano ang tingin mo? Palakihin pa ba? Cash or bash?
Well, kailangan talagang palakihin eh. Although I get the point of Ray here, no? Pero just like what happened in the OQT, di ba? 11 lang sila, di ba? sayang naman yung isang pwesto.
Isang pwesto, oo.
Di ba?
Oo.
So I think that's the right move to widen the pool.
I agree, but I don't think it should be very big. As Naveen mentioned also, I think it should just be reason. Alam naman natin ang sistema ni Tim. It's also a very difficult system, by the way, to learn. Kaya siya, kudaw din siya sa pagpili ng player.
Correct.
Yun lang nakakaalam na kundi baliwala
Hindi, may point nga si Rey, di ba?
Masisira din.
Sama ako dyan sa manya. Yung pala, walang mangyayari sa akin. I have other things to do.
Correct. And that's the quandary of a national coach. Talagang it's a difficult decision that he has to make. But I think he's in the right track. I think keeping a core, and that's what he said in our interview, he just wants to keep a core para talagang ito ang maging foundation ng future ng Gilas Pilipinas.
Yeah, but remember baka mamaya parang nangyayari sa Avengers yan. Aging na rin yung mga teams na.
Hindi, ang sabi naman niya, okay. Kaya nga, young core, including guys like Dwight Ramos, AJ Edu, and Kai Soto. Naveen and Rey, maraming salamat sa oras na binigyan niyo sa amin ngayong umaga. Again, it's just, I'm happy to have you. And I look forward to being on your podcast, Naveen. And of course, Rey, I look forward to always reading your stories. Maraming salamat, partner.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Thank you, Com. Thank you, Jera. And thank you, Naveen.
Happy weekend.
Ray, and
Happy
thank
weekend.
you, Tom. Thank you to the whole team. Thank you.
Ayan po mga kaibigan nating Casher Bash. Of course, masayang usapan. Wala pong tama, walang mali. Ang importante, of course, kayo yung nag-enjoy sa ating puntahan. Alright, bago tayo mag-break, isa muna pong pagsilip sa mga viral videos at sinusundan natin mga trending topics sa mundo ng palakasan sa Stop and Pop.
Power and Play with Com Noli Iyala.
Ang title po ng video natin ngayong linggo ay Alien! Alien? Ano ba to Alien? Panoorin niyo po itong video. Bakit kaya ganito? Alien, Alien, ha? Consensus nga ba na nga bang moniker ni Victor Wembanyama ang The Alien? Kita nyo naman yan, ha? Bagay namang lalot out of this world talaga ang mga nagagawa ni Wemby sa court. At malaking factor dyan ang kanyang matinding coordination para sa kanyang tangkad. Ha? Kita nyo naman sa video ito, sisiw lang yang sa young French star ang juggling trick na ito. Diyos ko, ang daming ginagawa sa basketball court. Pati ba naman yan kayang gawin? Alien! Alien!
Parang ang pang-Barnum and Bailey circus na dyan. Matangkad pa.
At yan po ang ating Stop and Pop. Nakakatuwa, no? Alright, when we return, ang ating po makakasama, ang head coach ng Gilas, Pilipinas, Coach Tim Cone, at ang ating pinakabagong Olympian sa In the Spotlight, Lauren Hoffman. Ito po ang Power and Play hatid sa inyo ng Cherry Loom, Cherry Tigo, at ng Joyride. Ang oras po natin, 9:06 ng umaga. This time check is brought to you by M2T Drinks. With malunggay, okra, and luya, drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2T Drinks.
Ito ang programang inaabangan, mga paborito mong paligsahan. Impormasyon dito ay malalaman, halina't ating tunghayan.
I dare to dream big. To be a voice of my generation. To inspire resilience in the face of roadblocks. And in sharing my stories, I let others share in my passion.
Follow Kai Stories on Twitter and share yours. With Smart Double Giga Stories. Share 2 times the passion with 2 gigabytes for Twitter and more. Guaranteed every day, plus data for all sites.
Simple, smart ako.
Sherry.
Ito ang programang inaabangan, mga paborito mong paligsahan.
Nangunguna bilang
Muli po nagbabalik ang Power and Play at syempre gusto natin magpasalamat sa lahat po ng mga tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. Of course, Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum, ngayon pong nag-uulan na at napakainit pa rin, kailangan po natin na matibay at protektadong bubong. Dapat ang bubong ay yerong may aluminum. Kapag may aluminum, tsak na pang matagalan. At isa lang, ang alam kong tikalidad na yerong may aluminum, yan ang Cherry Loom, tibay protektado sa pang matagalang yero. Cherry Loom, ang yerong may aluminum.
Thank you!
Cherry Tiggo 7 Pro Hybrid, easy on the fuel, stylish and with advanced functionality features. This is the Cherry Tiggo 7 Pro Hybrid, equipped with a panoramic sunroof, power tailgate, wireless mobile phone charging, and a 360-degree around view monitor, plus a 48-volt mild hybrid system that lets you drive with ease and optimal fuel consumption. Perfect for work, road trips, or other personal journeys. If you're looking for a classic car that boasts new technologies and fuel efficiency at the right price, look no further. Enter the new era of green mobility the practical way with the Cherry Tiggo 7 Pro Hybrid. Visit www.cherryauto.ph for more information or test drive at any Cherry dealership near you.
Thank you!
Joyride, ang inyong bagong kasundo. May mga bago po tayong offering mula sa Joyride Super App. Yung pong QR Code Instant Booking. No more waiting na sa Joyride QR Code Instant Booking. Parahin lang ang Joyride MC Taxi Driver at i-generate ang QR code sa Joyride Super App. Ipascan ito sa driver para match agad. Download or update to the latest version of the Joyride Super App sa Google Play Store at App Store. And of course, meron na rin po tayong serbisyong Joyride Super Taxi Hatid Airport. Sa Joyride Super Taxi Hatid Airport Service, wala nang hassle sa pagpunta sa airport para sa inyong flight. Pre-book a ride to the airport from 2 weeks to 24 hours prior to your departure. Simple lamang fill out the pre-booking form sa amin pong link or scan the QR code to fill out the pre-booking form. For inquiries, you may call Joyride Super Taxi Hatid Airport Hotline at 0920-948-6550 from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Saturday, or you may also email us at supertaxi/hatidairport@joyride.com.ph.
Thank you!
717 Deli, serving quality classic premium sandwiches. Treat yourself to a feel-good meal today, located at 3rd floor, 53 Connecticut Street, Green Hills, San Juan. 717 Deli, keep you smiling with every bite.
Thank you!
Skin, your face and body anti-aging center with branches at Alabang Town Center and Green Hills, San Juan. For your skin assessment and treatment schedule, please call 0917-890-1640 or 0977-809-8886.
Thank you!
M2T Drink with Malunggay, Okra and Luya. Drink your gulay and fuel up on energy with M2T Drink with Malunggay, Okra and Luya, your natural source of electrolytes.
Thank you!
Smart, live more today.
Thank you!
Rudy Project Shades.
Thank you!
At Akari Lighting.
Thank you!
Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating mga tagapagtaguyod ng Power and Play. Well, mga partner, nung isang araw, nakasama ko si Coach Tim ko, kagaya na binabanggit natin. Grabe itong mamang ito, no? Very classy and very humble.
Oo, at saka actually, di ba, unang-una, ayaw niya talagang tanggapin itong trabaho
ito.
But it was pleasure to really take on the role as the head coach
and
of
he
the
is
national
taking it so seriously.
Yeah.
And he's doing a great job. Alam niyo po, kararating pa lamang niya, sabi niya sa akin, diretso siya sa PBA Draft Combine. Halos daw makatulog siya doon dahil sa jet lag, pero pinilit niya. And he still had time, of course, to field in a lot of interviews. At tayo pong isa sa mga nakausap niya tungkol sa naging paglalakbay ng Gilas Pilipinas patungo sana sa Paris, pero kinapos ng konti. At kaya po ang kanyang thoughts sa ating pong panayam with the head coach ng Gilas Pilipinas, Coach Tim Cone. And we have with us, of course, a good friend and, of course, the triumphant head coach of Gilas Pilipinas, Coach Tim Cone. Tim, it's good to have you back in the Philippines. Congratulations for a very strong showing in the FIBA OQT.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pluses and minuses. The ending was bad. We felt we could have done better and felt we had a chance to beat Brazil. Once you get to that level where you get to the semis and you're that close, you really start believing that you deserve or should win, and when you don't, it's really devastating. So at the end, we were all devastated that we didn't take the next step. But, there were some positives to it. And,
all right. Yeah,
and if you really look at the program overall, it's really, this was a good first step for us. And we got steps to go still.
Well, of course, history was made with your stint there. A first victory against a European team in an official FIBA tournament, and a victory in over 60 years. And, obviously that is something that many of us were very ecstatic about and celebrating here in the Philippines after that victory. But as you said, there are so many what ifs and what could have been situations. Of course, seeing Brazil go all the way to the Olympics is something that we will always wonder if we had beaten Brazil, whether we could have made it all the way also to Paris. But here's my question then. How much of the Olympic qualifying tournament journey came as a surprise to you, and how much of it did you expect?
Well, I think we went into the OQT. We after playing the Asian Games and then playing Hong Kong and Taiwan, we knew we had an elite team in Asia. We knew we could really compete, and in many ways, we could even somewhat dominate Asia. But the question for us is, could we compete with the European teams? And that was our question all the way through. And that's what we talked about. We talked about, trying to get over the hump, understanding that this is what we're going to play at the world stage. These are the teams we're going to have to be able to play and compete with and beat eventually. And so we went and we played Turkey. Turkey was a really strong team. In fact, most of the Europeans, the coaches that we were talking to said that, Turkey is a real elite team, and they had some misfortune and didn't make it to the OQT, but they were very elite and they were really good. And we competed with them. We led against their first group, and then we actually fell behind with their second group. And then with Poland, we were toe-to-toe with Poland all the way through, and they were the second-seeded team in their OQT. So we were getting that feel that, yeah, we can compete with these guys, but their message was, can we get over the hump? Can we actually beat them? And so that was our mindset when we started that game against Latvia. And I think we were really, really motivated to play at our highest level in that game. And we felt we just needed to play a great game. If we could play a great game, we could beat anybody. And we came out and played a great game against Latvia. And it was fun.
Well, we know how, again, the quick turnaround for you and your team just before you left for Europe. And just like the Asian Games, when you had a very short time to prepare, you also did have a very short time to prepare for this one. But do you think you've made a point, Tim? Because many critics will always say the team needs more preparations, longer preparations. The team needs a bigger pool, coming from all of that experience in the past. And, obviously against Latvia, we proved that we can win at that level. So have you made a point, Tim?
Well, I think there needs to be a clarification on all these things that are going on in terms of what people are saying needs to be done or can be done. There's a difference between what needs to be done and what can be done. Obviously, I would love to be with these guys full time, all year round. All we do is just play for the country and don't worry about their club teams. And we pay them all their salaries and all. And it's just not feasible. And it's not feasible like that for any team really in the world. I mean, you can't get the U.S. team to quit the NBA and go around gallivanting around the world playing tournaments 3 or 4 times a year. What are they going to do in the meantime? And you can't afford to pay them that kind of money that they're making in other leagues. So that's number one. If we're going to get the players that we want and the players that we need, then we have to understand we're going to have shorter preparation time because these guys are involved everywhere else. The finals finished 4 days before we went into Inspire Camp. And they were actually supposed to finish 2 days before we went to Inspire Camp, but they finished it in Game 6 rather than Game 7. So Jumar, CJ, Chris Newsom, they came into our camp, with 3 days of rest coming from their finals appearance. And that was a long, drawn-out, hard-fought series, which we all watched. So, and if we were going to practice a week or two before that, they wouldn't have been involved. And it's almost impossible to practice without a full team. Because when new guys come in and you have to teach them all over again, you go back to ground zero. Anyway, it's a complicated thing. So it's really, if we want these players that we need, then we're going to have less less preparation time. And that was part of the deal. That was part of the deal with the leagues. If we're only going to prepare this long, and it's also for the players as well. If we're going to have these long, drawn-out preparations time, they're going to be worn out by the time they go back to their other team.
Right.
So this is the only way that I could see it, that Al Panlino could see it, that Erica D could see it, that would give us a chance to be able to bring our best players. I think the thing we proved on this one is that we can compete if we bring our best players. If we don't bring our best players, we cannot compete at this stage.
Excellent.
That's, I think, what we proved more than anything at this point.
That's an excellent point, because I also believe in that. I think that you've debunked a lot of myths about, at least, you can see that a team can be competitive given all of the odds. But of course, it's always ideal to have the best situation for a team. But let me ask you about this, another myth. And this is about Kai Soto and Jumar Fajardo playing together at the same time. You've also showed that these two guys can play really, really well together. Tim, how was that? Tell us about that particular process and the satisfaction to see them playing so well together.
Well, we came into this particular tournament. Jumar didn't play in the previous windows because he was injured, so we never got a chance to put Jumar and Kai on the floor at the same time, and we didn't need it against Hong Kong or Taiwan. We didn't need them to play together against those teams. But when you get to Europe and you're playing against a Goga Batidze, you're playing against Shengalia, you're playing against Mamu, I don't know his long name. We call them Mamu. These guys are all 6'11" and above, and they're all power players. And if you're going to go out there and play Kai with a small forward, a 6'6" guy, we're not going to be able to compete. So that was one of two questions that we entered going into the OQT. Number one was Scotty injured? Could Dwight Ramos play in the backcourt for us? Because he would have the proper size to compete with European guards and be able to defend European guards. And we felt that was important. Every guard that we played against was 6'4", 6'3", 6'5" at the point guard position. We're no longer at that era where we can play, 5'7", 5'8", 5'9" point guards against those guys. It just the offenses are too complex. They'll find a way to take advantage of you. So that was one of our questions, and the other question was, can Jumar and Kai play together? We knew that AJ could play with Kai, and we knew that AJ could play with Junmar, but missing AJ in itself, it forced us to see if we could play Kai and Junmar together. And I think a lot of that has to come with, honestly, the system that we run, the triangle. The triangle allows for two post guys or two big guys to play together, and puts them in positions opposite of each other. They play oftentimes at a high-low. Both of Jumar and Kai are excellent passers from the post. So it was a good system for the two of them to play together. I did feel that Kai got lost a lot playing the wing position. There was not that pure comfortability because he had to play the wing while Jumar played the post. He was more comfortable getting down into the post area. but that was a sacrifice we asked him to make, and he did so, without question. And I think he probably would have been a little bit more dominant if he had had that 5 position to himself. And if AJ had been with us, then that would have allowed Kai to do that more often and give Jumar more rest. And with the 3-man rotation, I think that would have been a really strong rotation, something we're looking forward to in the future. But we had to answer those questions, and thankfully they did for the most part.
And of course, the question that is begged from all of that discussion is, how big was the loss of Kai in moving forward after the Latvia game? We know the answers, but from your perspective, I mean, were you devastated that Kai couldn't play?
Yeah, I mean, I knew from the beginning, looking at Brazil, and we went through the scouting and did everything, prepared for them, and then we basically found out the morning of the game that Kai wasn't going to be able to go after our shoot around. We had a shoot around in the morning, and he told me he didn't think he could go, and so Kai did everything. You got to understand that fall he had.
Oh,
you could see it in slow motion and stuff, and the way he was crunched, but being there on the court, it was done right in front of our bench. It was violent. It was a violent fall. So to fault him for not being able to play the next day immediately, he had to basically play within almost 48 hours.
Right.
And if he had had a 3 or 4 or 5 days, I'm sure he would have been had a chance. But it was a tough fall. It was a violent fall. So. But I knew, looking at Caboclo and Diaz, they're 2 big men of Brazil, and the way they did a lot of single highs, because Jumar's strength is not single high defense, and I knew that not having Kai there, Kai was a guy that could be a little quicker, could switch out, do a little bit more things, and protect the rim better, protect that separation from the big man as he dives to the rim. I knew that we would be in trouble not having Kai on the floor. It would be a big challenge for us. But there were a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas. I felt like if I'd gone to a zone, maybe I'm not a zone guy, but if I'd gone to a zone and protected Jumar like we did against Georgia, maybe that would have done something. Maybe trying to play much smaller instead of trying to keep the matchup with them might have helped out.
Right.
But I tell you, I was walking off the floor at halftime with Jumar of that game, and he was totally exhausted. I
can imagine.
Having to battle those 2 big guys. And even though I knew we were up, I knew we were in trouble going into the second half with Jumar that tired. We didn't have anybody to help him, back him up.
Talking about the zone, of course, you played that zone against Georgia. We were down big, and you came up with that zone. We were down 20, brought it down to a single-digit lead, and obviously, it was a big run for us. And obviously that worked. And reports have it after the game that you did not practice the zone. What does this tell you about this team, Tim? What did it tell you about the team?
Well, we know the guys. Even though we didn't practice the zone, we know the players, and we know that Jumar is very strong in the zone. San Miguel plays a lot of zone, so we weren't worried about Jumar controlling the paint in the middle. We actually did it to protect him because they were spreading the floor and using Sengalia, who's a great one-on-one player, who's 6'10" and can put the ball on the floor really quickly. And he just created a mismatch against Jumar on the perimeter. So we had to somehow try to protect him. And so we went to the zone. And I'm not a zone guy. Like I said, we have very little preparation time. So, you have to prioritize what you're going to work on. So, we worked really hard on our man-to-man defense, the fundamentals of our man-to-man defense. We worked on the fundamentals of the zone, of the triangle. Those were our priorities. And even our out-of-bounds plays, we were doing them like last-second out-of-bounds plays because we didn't have really the time to put them all in. So the zone was furthest from our mind in terms of using that as a defense. We practiced against it as an offense, but we did never use it as a defense for us. But again, these guys are high-level players. These guys are veterans. We have a young group, but we also have an older group. Chris Newsom. Chris is going to kill me for saying he's old, but not old. But I mean, he's a veteran guy as opposed to like Mason Amos, who's only 19 years old. But these guys have a way of being able to play the game and being able to make adjustments, and that's why you have veterans. I've always said you develop your team with young players, but you win with veterans. And it's because being able to make adjustments like that, of having the experience of doing different things, playing beyond themselves, not worried about themselves as an older player. At a certain age, you start thinking, all I care about is winning. When you're young, you really care about showcasing yourself, proving yourself, making sure people understand how good you are, making sure coaches, organizations, But once you get to that level, you kind of get past that, and now you're about team and about doing that, and that's why you win with veterans. And that's the philosophy that we brought to this Gilas team.
Well, you talk about veterans, of course. We talk about Justin Brownlee, maybe the true hero and a real workhorse for Gilas Pilipinas. He was voted as the top 5 best players in the OQT in Riga. And obviously, he carried the load for your team. What is the future like for Justin Brownlee in this team? Talking about him being a veteran, talking about his physical state right now, and moving forward in the future, Tim. What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm really happy that he'll be back to our practices in about 3 weeks and never again. Boy, I really missed him at Enebra. And it was great to have him again at the national, at the Gilas level. He's such a joy to work with because, first of all, he's just such a great person. If you know Justin at all, you really appreciate the person that he is beyond anything beyond basketball. And that's really someone who is that good and yet is that great of a person. It's really hard to find. So that's number one. And that because he's such a great person, he's such a great teammate. Players love playing with him. You could hear Dwight Ramos talking about him saying he's the best teammate I've ever played with in my career. And I mean, that's saying a lot through college, to Japan. I mean, he's had a lot of teammates, a lot of imports, a lot of regular teammates. To say he's the best ever is really something. And then Kai coming out and saying he's the Michael Jordan of the Philippines, that made a big deal in Europe. They kept referencing him as the Michael Jordan of the Philippines. So you can see the appreciation that his teammates have. They really, I like putting him out front because he's such a great representative of us all. And obviously he's just a phenomenal player as well. I mean, he's a big moment guy. He plays big at big moments. He's shown that throughout his whole career. That 4-point play he had against Tima against Latvia when they were making a run at us.
Right.
We just gave him the old Michael Jordan spread offense and let him come down, and he did his Michael Jordan thing, hit that jumper from the top, and made a 4-point play, and basically that was the dagger, game over. And Latvia never recovered from that.
Well, when we see this team that you brought to Riga and how close we were to the Olympic dream, when you look at the numbers, Tim, you were the best offense in the OQT. You almost prior to the Brazil game, you were averaging 21 assists a game in the OQT. You were shooting over 50% from 3-point territory. You had your starter scoring 77 of the 89 points in the Latvia game, and of course we were dreaming Olympics when we met Brazil. What do you think, Tim, is the missing piece moving forward for this team?
Well, I think health is one of the things. We got each player specifically because of the role that they can play for the team. And when they weren't there, I mentioned Scotty Thompson. Scotty would allow Dwight to go to his normal position where he is incredibly effective. AJ, as we talked earlier, would have been a great rotation guy with Kai and Jumar, and kept them fresh or fresher through the whole series. And when you're playing consecutive games like that, we played Latvia at 7:00, turned around the next day and played Georgia at 3:00. The recovery time was so short, and one of the reasons we got off to such a bad start is that we just couldn't get our motors going because of the short turnaround, and that was an issue throughout the tournaments that I understand. Even in the tournaments in Greece and Spain and Puerto Rico, the teams that had to play back to back the evening before, the early afternoon, all struggled and coming out of the gate. So having an AJ there to keep Jumar and Kai fresh, I think would have been a huge impact. And I don't think we had a real transition game. We lacked a real transition game in this point where we could take advantage of getting some easy baskets. And that's where Jamie Malonzo was supposed to be a part of it. He's one of the best at getting out on the break. Of course, he's a really long defender as well, sneaky three-point shooter. And I think that he would have been impactful in this thing as well. So, getting those three guys back, they had roles on the team that could have made us a little bit more versatile. So I think health is primarily it. And just the cumulative experiences that we are having. That's the key. We had that experience with Hong Kong and Taiwan, and we brought those experiences and that practice time into this OQT, the practice of the 10 days, the game against Turkey, the game against Poland, the OQT itself. We're going to now bring those experiences and bring it into the next one, which is going to be November, and just keep accumulating these experiences and getting better and better. And hopefully, by the time we reach World Cup, if we can keep these guys pretty much together, I'm not going to say that these exact 12 guys are going to be the same guys 4 years from now.
Right.
Just like I wouldn't say the Endeavor team right now is not going to be the same Endeavor team 4 years from now. That doesn't happen. But, hopefully the core can stay in part. The players that we do accumulate as we go along, they get into the system quickly because there are guys who already know it, so they'll be able to help teach. So there won't be these big adjustments that we have to make, new mixes of players, new systems to learn. And that's really the vision that Alpin, Lilio, and Eric and Dee have for this program. And all on board for it.
And you have the vote of confidence. You will be handling this team as we speak for the long term. So obviously, your plans will be a big part of how this team moves forward, especially when we get back in our quest for a World Cup and, of course, for the Olympics. Obviously, Tim, this, as I mentioned in social media, I'm not big on moral victories. But there are, of course, a lot to be happy about with the performance of Gilas. What are the finished and unfinished business for you, for Gilas, Tim?
Well, like I said, I think we went into this OQT wanting to find out if we could compete with European teams. And now we know. I think that now we know we can compete with these guys. And now it's about getting over the hump and not just competing, but winning and beating these teams on at least a semi-regular basis where we can advance and get beyond, new horizons, trying to make new horizons. We won the Asian Games for the first time in 60 years. We beat a European team for the first time in 60 years. And those are incredible feats. But the bottom line is that when we walked away from that tournament, there was a big sour taste in our mouths, and we want more. So, we're going to continue to battle and get more. But like I said, now we know we can get there. There's a belief, I think, in all the players and the powers that be that we can get there. So that's the exciting point of it. We have a lot more horizons to conquer, I think, in our minds. And I'm just hoping we can find a way to keep everybody together and keep moving in one direction.
Well, I got a couple of maybe minutes here, just two short questions, and I want to digress before I ask you my last question about Gilas. Just a digression. The draft is coming up for the PBA on Sunday, and you were part of the combine, jet lagged and all. You were there to see all the candidates, all 70 of them. What is your assessment of the talent that's coming in, and how do you see Ginebra going through this particular draft?
Well, if I tell you everything, I'm going to have to kill you, Noli.
I know.
One thing about the draft is all about deception and subterfuge. You know, you always misdirect the other teams into drafting somebody you don't want, and
let's stick to how deep do you think this draft going to be?
I think there's 12 players out there that are impact players that will fill out the first round. I think every player picked in the first round is going to be an impact player in the PBA, and we're number 10, so we don't know who's going to fall to us, but we'll take any of those 12 basically at this point. Whether it be a point guard, a wing, or a big man. Not that many big men. I mean, in terms of pure big men, there's a lot of big wings out there. Balloon Guy and other guys.
Policarpio.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention him. But there are some big wings out there. There's really only one pure, legitimate big man. That's Justin Baltazar in terms of that first round. And he, in my mind, is the legit number one pick in the draft. I was watching him today. I saw him today play, and I wasn't. I haven't seen a lot of him since he's left La Salle. I didn't get a chance to see him play in the MPBL, but I saw him watching today. He's a legit number one pick. I mean, he does all the little things that a big man does. Athletic, gets up and down the floor. But the problem is, and I was telling our coaches that we have a tendency to watch Justin play, and we ain't going to get Justin. So we shouldn't be watching Justin. We got to be watching the other 9 guys on the floor, because that's where our picks are going to come from. So, the bottom line is, though, is that one of those 12 is going to drop to Ginebra, and we're going to be very happy about it. We don't know who it's going to be, and we're not going to try to figure it out at this point, but at least not publicly. And then we have a couple second-round picks as well that we will try to fill holes and use them to compete with the players that we have and add competition to our lineup and see what happens. But
should be a very interesting one. I know that there are a lot of very good point guards or guards out there, ball handlers, and obviously this is going to be a very interesting draft.
I think one of the most interesting in a while, yes.
Yeah, in a while. All right, as a final question here, it's just really, I just want to get a brief answer here, Tim, and just fill in the blanks. As we see the Olympics, the basketball competitions in the Olympics, now final, we see really big names there. All the best stars, of course, are playing for Team USA, Team Canada, Serbia, Spain, and all the other great teams, Germany. Here's my fill in the blanks question. My biggest regret is that I won't be able to blank during the Paris Olympics, Tim. Go.
Well, I guess it should be basketball, but I want to get a chance to watch all the other sports, I guess. Just being there in the Olympics is amazing. I just want to mention that and there's Brazil's in that spot, but if we had made the Olympics, our first game would have been against France, the host team, with Wembyana and Gobert. Our second game would have been Germany, the World Cup champions. And our third game would have been Japan, our traditional rival. So how would that have been? That would have been amazing. I would have liked to have been a part of that.
That would have made us the top Asian team, at the very least. Tim, thanks so much for joining us today. Yan po mga kaibigan ang ating panayam kay Coach Tim Coe, ng head coach ng Gilas Pilipinas. Again, congratulations kay Tim. Can you imagine, partner, kung dahil napunta sa Olympics, France ang una nating kalaban?
Oo. Maski na sabihin mong alam naman natin na mahirap na talunin natin yan. Pero at least all eyes are on Gilas, Pilipinas.
That would have been
Express.
something talaga. And of course, we continue to dream. Libre naman ang mangarap.
Libre
mga
naman
kapatid.
mangarap eh.
Alright, bago po tayo magpatuloy sa ating huling interview ngayong araw pong ito, pasok muna natin ang ilang moments in sports history this week in sports history.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
July 9, 1877. Pambihira, nahalungkat niyo pa to. 147 years ago, naganap ang pinakaunang official lawn tennis tournament. Yan ang gentleman's singles competition na ginanap sa Wimbledon, West London. Kung pamilyar ang pangalan, yan po ay dahil yan nga ang alam na nating Grand Slam. Pinakaunang Wimbledon champion si landowner Spencer Gore na tinalo si William Marshall sa 3 sets. The very first Wimbledon tournament this week in sports history. Talking about Wimbledon, yung men's semifinals, or men's finals has been set. It will be Alcaraz versus Djokovic, a rematch, and that should be a dandy. Panoorin niyo po yan. Napakagandang magiging finals sa Wimbledon. All right, we are ready to go with our final guest of the day, and we put the spotlight once again on the Paris Olympics, and of course, the Filipino athletes that are representing our country in our 100th year anniversary of participating in the Olympics in the spotlight.
Power and Play with Noli Iyala.
She is the 22nd member of the Philippine team, now making it as the 3rd Filipino track athlete in the Paris Olympics. And we are very honored to have with us no other than hurdler Lauren Hoffman. Thank you for joining us today, Lauren, all the way there from... are you in the U.S. right now, or are you in the Philippines?
Yes, I'm in the U.S. right now. I'm training with my coach. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
Wow, we're very happy to have you with us, and of course, Jera Season, my partner, is also here. Lauren.
Yeah, good morning, Lauren.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, great.
This is your debut Olympics, Lauren, and of course, it is something that's always special. Particularly because you will be joining also 2 other Filipino athletes as part of our track and field contingent. First of all, tell us about your journey, Lauren. How difficult was this journey to get to Paris?
Yes, becoming an Olympian is not an easy road. There's a lot of road bumps, and it's just not easy. It's a dream, years and years in the making, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and it just means so much to see all that hard work just come to be like a executed goal. It's just so meaningful to me.
You were the 39th out of the 40 qualified athletes for the hurdles, again by the skin of your teeth. But obviously that is not something that will take away from what you have accomplished. What is your mindset going up against the best hurdlers in the world?
Yes, yeah. So luckily I've run against some of these girls before. So I think that's helpful experience going into the Olympic Games. It's just another meet with the same girls that I've run against. So I'm glad that I have that experience going into it. But this is definitely the biggest stage I've ever run on. So it's just so exciting, so I'll just be prepping for the next few weeks before I head out.
Okay, Lauren, I think all of us, we want to know more about you, and how did you get into athletics?
Yeah, it's a great question. I started running in elementary school. I think I was like 9 or 10, maybe 8. And I started running distance events with a club at my elementary school called Girls on the Run. So that's how I kind of got into running. And then I started track and field in middle school, and I fell in love with hurdling. I tried out for the hurdles, like the hurdle squad in 7th grade, and they told me no. So I worked hard at it. Yeah, so worked hard at it. And then I got to join the hurdle squad when I was in 8th grade. So ever since then, I've been hurdling, and I just love it. I love practicing that technique and that skill. And I think it makes, it's just kind of a fun thing to throw into the event. So I've been hurdling ever since.
Oh, wow. Great to know.
You're probably always going over the fence in your house, trying to escape it.
Yes. If anything's in the way, hurdle it.
Is there any influence in your life, why you got into athletics or sports for that matter?
Yeah, I don't have any major athletes in the family, but I think I've always had a competitive spirit growing up, always just trying to beat my brother or my stepbrothers in like different games and activities and stuff. So I've been very competitive since a young age, and I think that I've always kind of carried that competitive spirit throughout the years. So I think that's just kind of how I got into sports, and I'm very competitive now. So I think track is a good way to release that competitive spirit.
Yeah, Lauren, it says Lauren Hoffman. So, where's the Filipino roots here? Your mother?
Yes.
From,
Yes, from my mother's
from
side.
which province?
Yes. She was born in Caloocan City, but she was raised in Navotas. She considers Navotas her home, and that is
okay.
where we still have relatives now, which is
Cabanova.
great because oh yeah, sorry. When we went to the Philippines national meet in Pasig, they were able to come over from her hometown. So that was very sweet to see my family. It's hard to see them, so we always get the family together when I go back.
How Filipino is Filipino in the Hoffman home? I mean, for instance, what is your favorite? I mean, do you celebrate Filipino traditions like Pasko, Christmas, Lauren, in
Yes.
your home?
Oh, of course. Yes, yes, we definitely do. Christmas, Easter, definitely spent with the family. We always have something to celebrate as a family. We're always getting the family together, whether it's like a graduation or I qualify for a meet or it's someone's birthday. We're always getting the family together. Last year, we got our family together to go to a Filipino restaurant in DC to celebrate my grandma's birthday, my Lola. And it was a great time. A lot of great food, a lot of good karaoke. So it was a good time.
So what's your favorite Filipino food?
Favorite food, I think it's sinigang.
Sinigang.
My Lola always makes it. Yes, my Lola makes it with shrimp, so that's how we usually do it. And luckily I can make it not as good as her, but just kind of throw everything into the pot. But usually when I go to my Filipino restaurant, my local one, I get bangosilog. It's my favorite here.
Bangus silog.
that's
In
Basilog.
Jera's place, there's a lot of bangus in
Oh,
Pangasinan.
that's so good.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually buy it from the local place because I've never fried milkfish, but I should try it.
Yeah, you should.
Go ahead, partner.
No, I was just, it just entered in mind. I don't know if you were able to watch the movie of Jokoy, Easter Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah.
we haven't seen it yet. My mom wanted to see it, but I haven't seen it yet.
Try to watch it. You can really relate to, the Filipino tradition.
Oh, that's
That
awesome.
movie, yeah.
I got to do an interview with his mother in the past year, which was nice meeting her.
Oh.
Is there a particular Filipino sports athlete that that is your favorite?
Oh, that's a good question. I think in the past, I definitely look up to Elma and Lydia. They were like the Asian track queens. They were record setters, they're trailblazers. So I feel like I kind of look up to them, even though, like lots of people are breaking the records now. They were the women to come before us. So I think it's right to pay their, respects that way. But, EJ is just so dominant. He does my sport, very different event. But he's just so dominant and represents the Philippines well. So I feel like he's a big inspiration as well.
Oh, just one question, Lauren. How old are you right now?
I'm 25. I turned 25 in March.
Oh, okay. So, no, I was just thinking, after the Olympic stint, any plans of coming over here and, being a full-fledged athlete and compete here in the local scene or in the Asian scene?
Yeah, definitely. I don't really have plans right now. I think I'll definitely be visiting at least once. I might go to a meet in Thailand, so I'll at least be over on that side of the world for that time. But I could definitely see myself living there and training for a little bit. I just love being there. I miss it so much. So I'll definitely be there in some capacity after the Olympics.
Excellent. Well, you're a few weeks away from Paris, Lauren. I'm sure you're excited. How are you preparing? Are you finishing up your training with 2 weeks left?
Yeah, we're kind of just fine tuning right now. We've put in so much work throughout the year, just so much of building strength, building stamina, building speed. So a lot of the work has already been done. So now it's just kind of a matter of fine tuning and just getting our mind and health and body right.
What do you feel in your particular skill set that you still need to improve and focus on in this last 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah. I feel like in terms of hurdling, I'm not going to forget how to hurdle. I don't really need to fine tune that kind of technique. It'll kind of just be I think getting the nervous system up and getting our speed up. Yeah, so nothing too crazy in terms of workouts, no crazy endurance building or anything, just kind of maintaining that speed right now.
How confident are you, Lauren?
I'm confident. I'm very confident, very excited. I don't know if there are too many Filipino women that have qualified for semifinals or advanced to the next round. So that's definitely my goal going into this, just to survive and advance each round. So, you know, hopefully can make some history there and inspire the next generation of athletes.
Well, you know, just before I let you go, obviously I want to ask, what does this mean to you? I mean, your first Olympics, how big is it for you and your family?
Yeah, this is so big. It's so special. I mean, my Lola and my Nanay, they're my biggest role models. They've overcome so much adversity to become so successful, and they've done so much in their life with, you know, starting out with so little. So just to have such amazing, supportive, inspirational Filipino women in my life means everything. And I want to make them proud. I want to make all the kababayan proud. So this is very special to me. Also to be a part of history, you know, 100 years and the Philippines representing at the Olympics, and there's just a lot of history to be made, and it just makes it so much more special.
It brings me goosebumps. You know, just hearing you how you are so excited for your family, for your mom and your Lola. That is amazing. That's a very Filipino trait. Obviously, that's a very Filipino trait. So as I let you go, I want you to fill this particular sentence up. It's a fill in the blanks. That's my parting shot.
Okay.
One athlete I hope I will bump into is blank in the Olympics.
Ooh. I mean, the world record holder in my event is Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, so it would be cool to kind of just shake her hand because she is the fastest woman ever to do this event, so that would be great. So yeah, that's me finishing that sentence.
Excellent.
You know, like at Asian Games, I was just so honored to meet Heidelin Diaz, and I was just like so obsessed when I got to bump into her, and I asked for a picture, and I just got to talk to her. It's special to do that at the Asian Games, but I won't get to do it here. But she's also a big inspiration of mine.
Well, keep that enthusiasm. Stay as a fan of the sport, and represent the Philippines well. Good luck, Lauren, and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat po. Thank
Maraming
you.
salamat.
Best of luck.
Mga kaibigan, si Lauren Hoffman, our pambato sa 400-meter hurdles sa Paris Olympics. Pagtasal natin ang ating mga atleta Pilipino.
Ako talaga
malapit na.
Iba yung kanyang pananaw no?
Ang ganda. Nakakatuwa. Nakakataba ng puso ang ginawang mga sinabi niya. Alright, bago tayo magtapos mga kapatid, ito po mga nanalo sa ating Joyride Top Up promo ngayong araw pong ito. Sila na mananalo ng 1,000 pesos e-wallet credits or JRPay wallet credits. Mark Dunesa, Jovert Aboy, Jesslyn Ross Taroy, Shelly May Labustro at si Leo Lozares. Samantala, ang nanalo naman po last week ng ating top up, or rather ng ating pong limited edition Aqua Flask, si MB Lacson ng ating pasahero at si Jericho Espinosa ang ating driver partner ng Joyride. Congratulations sa inyo lahat at maraming salamat sa inyong pagsali. Alright, partner, that'll do it for us. 2 weeks to go to the Olympics. Next week, Olympics, pag-usapan natin. And of course, we'll try to get some updates from Paris itself.
At saka yung PBA draft bukas.
PBA draft bukas. Huwag niyo pong kalilimutan yan. Alright mga kapatid, maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay ngayong Sabado po ng umaga. Lagi po natin sinasabi dito sa Power and Play tuwing Sabado, bawal ang masungit. At sa lahat po ng ating gawain, Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. Kami po ang 1PH Teleserbisyo para sa Pilipino. Susunod na po ang inyong paboritong inay ko po.
Happy sporting weekend sa inyo lahat po.
More power, more play.
Sa kapwa ko Pilipino, ipagmalaki ang galing na meron tayo. Ilantad ang likas nating talento at magdala ng saya sa mundo. Sa harap ng pagsubok ay di susuko, para sa pangarap tayo'y porsigido. Magpakitang gilas na at huwag magpatalo, ipag-iwang natin ang Pilipino. Yan ang Pinoy. Mula noon at hanggang ngayon, talento natin ang bida. Mula Mula sa simpleng bakuran hanggang entablado natin ipakita. May pagsubok man ng Pinoy, pinalalakas ng saya. San man tayo sa pulo, chumbe, sibay, lakay, amiga. Sama-samang pakita ang galing natin katropa sa kapwa ko Pilipino.